Alright, welcome everyone. And this is TryHackMe walkthrough Active Reconnaissance, and we're going to be we are going to learn the walkthrough of this room. Learn how to use simple tools such as Traceroute, Ping, Telnet, and web browser to gather information. Hmm. Okay, so in this room, we are going to be learning. Let's go. Okay, in the first room of the network security model, we focus on passive recognition. In the second room, we focus on the active recognition and the essential tools related to it. We learned to use a web browser to collect more information about our target. Moreover, we discuss using simple tools such as ping, traceroute, tenant, and NC to gather information about the network system and services. As we learned in the previous room, passive recognition lets you gather information about your target without any kind of direct engagement or connection. You are watching from afar or checking publicized available information, just like when you getting information from afar without any without being in that place in the location. You are getting the information from afar. Active recognition requires you to make some kind of contact with your target. These contacts can be a phone call or a visit to the target company under some pretense to gather more information using as part of social engineering. Alternatively, it can be a direct connection to the target system, whether visiting their website or checking if their firewalls has an SSH port open. Yeah, think of it like you are closing inspecting windows and doors lock. Hence, it is essential to remember not to engage in active reconnaissance work before getting signed legal authorization from the client. Okay, just like you are testing it, and look at it. The picture here is a simple explanation of what this writer is all about. Okay, so let's get straight. In this room, we focus on active reconnaissance. Active reconnaissance begins with direct connection made to the target machine. Any such connecting might leave information in the log shows the client IP address, time of connection, and duration of the connection, among other things. However, not all connections are suspicious. It is possible to let your active reconnaissance appear as regular client actively, and consider web browsing. No one would suspect a browser connected to a target web server among them hundreds of legitimate users. You can use such techniques to your advantage when working as part of the red team attackers, and don't want to alarm the blue team defender. In this room, we go through various tools commonly burned, burned with most operating system or easy obtainable. We begin with the web browser and its built-in developer tools. Furthermore, we showed you how a web browser can be armed to become an efficient recognition framework, and afterwards we discuss other begins tools such as Ping, Traceroute, and Telnet. All those program requires connection to the target, and hence our activities would fall under active reconnaissance. This room is of interest to anyone who wants to become familiar with essential tools and see how they can use them in active recognition. The web browser developer tools might take some um, effort to gain us familiarity, and through it offer a graphical user interface. The command line tools covered are relatively straightforward to use. Important notice: please note that if you are not subscribed, the attack burst won't have internet access. So you need a VPN and all of that. You need that. So let's jump to the question here. Ensure that you understand why this tools force under Active Reconnaissance. Launch your radar box and ensure it's ready. And you will need to answer the question later. Okay, let's check our attack box and ensure that it is ready. Okay, we can use a split. Okay, split view. So let me just divide my screen for better clarification, and we can do that right here. Okay, and here you can click check. That is it. So and that will be all for task 1 and task 2, web browser. The web browser can be a convenient tool, especially that it is readily available on our system. There are several ways where you can use a web browser to gather information about a target. There are several ways you can use a web browser to gather some information about a target. On the transport level, the browser connects to TCP port 80 by default when the website is accessed over HTTP. The HCP, CP port 443 by default when the website is accessed over HTTPS. Since 80 and 88 and 443 are default port for HTTP and HTTPS. The web browser does not show them in the address bar. However, it is possible to use custom port to access a service. For instance, HTTPS with this one right here. Okay, we connect to this right here and localhost at port 8834 via HTTPS, and that's encrypted in the protocol. If there is an HTTPS server listening on that port, we will receive a web page. While browsing, we receive a web page. While browsing a web page, you can press Control plus Shift and or plus I, and on the PC or option Command and plus I. Okay, you hold this, and that will give it that. And on the Mac, to open the developer tools on the Firefox. Similar shortcuts will also get you started with Google Chrome or Chromium. And developer tools let you inspect many things that your browser has received and exchange with the remote server. So we check this one. I guess right here we are up to something here. And here, so below is a screenshot for our worst developer Chrome and how you can inspect so many things. You can inspect and gather some information using the browser and the Firefox. You can also gather information from that by clicking on the inside of the browser. You can open. You will notice that you have options, and click the inspect, or and the page source and inspect. You will get so many things from that. And here are the example here below. And moving on, there are also plenty of ad or for firewall Chrome that can help in penetration testing. Hence, penetration testing. Hence are a few example. Okay, the Foxy proxy lets you quickly change the proxy server you are using to access the target website. These website extension is convenient when you are using a tool such as brute force, or if you need to switch proxy server regularly, you can get proxy here. You can get it right here, and you can get it right here and see more about that. And the user, and we have more here, and we have right here too. And you can get them right there. And when you click that, you will see more to that. Example here, you have got right here. So that's it. You can okay, for example, inspect. You click on the inside, and when you click on the inside, you can see more information about that. And here you have this option here. You have more option here, and from here you can see that we have about 8 questions. There are about 18 numbers. Wow, this is 8, and this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. So we have about eight questions right here. 8 questions right here. This is 1, this is 2, and this is 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. All right. So there is that about that, and now we can. Oh, excuse me. So that is it about that. So we're just simply talking about you can get a lot of information using that. You can get so different information using the browser, the proxy, and using the inspect, just like we just saw now, just like the example I just showed to you. And with that, you can get more information on what to do. And let's move on to the next stage. And what do we have here? Okay. Over time, you might find a few extensions that fit perfectly in your workflow. Browse to the following. Okay. Browse to the following website and ensure that you have opened your developer tools or attack box or the browser on your computer using the developer tools. Figure out the total number of questions. We just did that now, and you saw that, and we saw the questions that we have right there, and it's about 8. Yeah, you can take the video back, pause the video, take it back, and see what I just explained, and you can click it and still go through the same place from here. So, and after when I click it just now, and we have about 8 questions. So you can click check, and let's head straight to tax 3 ping. And here, okay, the tax 3, and ping should remind you of the game ping pong table tennis. You throw the ball and expect to get back and expect to get it back. The primary purpose of ping is to check whether you can reach the remote system and that the remote system can reach you back. In other word, let's click this start. Let's start this and see. Let's start the machine so that we can head to the next stage. All right. Oh. So the ping we can just go back to our attack box later. Okay. And okay, so where are we? This was used okay, the primary purpose of ping is to check whether you can reach the remote system, and that the remote system can reach you back. In other words, initially this was used to check network connectivity. However, we are more interested in its different use, checking whether the remote system is online. In the simple terms, the ping command send a packet to a remote system, and the remote system replies. This way, you can conclude that the remote system is online, and that the network is working between the two systems. If you prefer a packet definition, the ping is a command that sends an ICMP echo packet to a remote system. If the remote system is online and the ping package works correctly, routed and not blocked by any firewalls, the remote system should send back an ICMP echo reply and similarity. And similarly, the ping replies should reach the force system if appropriately routed and not blocked by any firewalls. Yeah, when you ping us when you ping us a target and the target does not have any something blocking it or setting up firewalls rules, you will definitely get your reply back. That's what it's trying to talk about here. And the objective of such command is to ensure that the target system is online before we spend time. Don't not waste your time and spending time and operating something that does not is not on. So you should know, you should have a clear understanding about your target before you start getting information, in order not to waste your time. On your attack bus terminal, you can start to ping this address. So don't forget that you have to start uh, your machine before you can in the task tree. You have to start up your machine before you can take on this exercise. So what, let's head straight to attack bus and open it. So I just decided to use the split my screen for easy clarification. And so we can go, you can just go ahead and copy this and copy this and come right here, and you can paste it right here. Okay, paste it right here and hit enter. You can see that and it's already on. And in the letter, the system needs to reserve host name to an IP address before sending the ping packet. If you don't specify account on the Linux system, you will need to hit the Control C to force it to stop. Hence, you might consider ping. And now we can hit our Control C to stop it. And you can see that the IP the file, there are rules and is blocking our pinging. Is currently, what does this mean? This simply means it's blocking our ICMP. All right, it is blocking it. So let's just stop it. All right, Control C, then you stop it. All right, so and you can also do more of that and using this one. And let's go. All right, technically speaking, ping falls under the protocol, right? Being in okay, Internet Pro Control Message, Internet Control Message Protocol. Okay, supports many type of queries, but in a particular, we are interested in ping, ICMP Echo Type 8. Okay, and ping replies ICMP Echo reply type 0. Getting into this details is not required to use ping. In the following example, we can we have a specified the total count of packets to 5 from the attack box terminal. We started pinging. This out. We learned that this IP address is up and is not blocking ICMP echo request. And moreover, any firewalls in router on the package router are not blocking echo after request rather. So and when you can also scan this network by going this way, and most time I prefer using this. And I can prefer using the nmap and let's scan the IP nmap. Okay, we have the hash. You can either use the SRs or SV. SV is more effective than SS, and then you paste the IP address of the target, and you scan it. You see that right here. We have just scanned the port, and we notice that it is on. It is on, and it's not blocking our IP address. It's not blocking it. It is on. So you can also scan it by using the SV. You can also use that. Just type nmap SV and paste the IP address and hit enter, and you will get more details about it. Now you can see the ports and the state and the version, SSH, HTTP, and more, and that is it. And more of our firewall. Okay, so let's head straight to the next and get more information. So you can see the examples of what we did the other time, and in the example above, we saw clearly that the target system is responding the ping. Yeah, it's responding the ping, and it is an indicator that it is online and reachable. Yes, we can transmit it. We have transmitted 5 packets and 5 packets, and we received 5 replies. We noticed that on the average, it looks like a milestone and milliseconds for the reply to reach our system, with the maximum being 0.63. Okay, 0.636 ms. From a penetration testing point of view, we will try to discover more about those targets. We will try to learn more as much. We'll try to learn as much as possible. For example, which ports are open and which services are running. Let's consider the following case. We shut down the target virtual machine and then try to ping this. And as you would expect, in the following example, we don't receive any reply. We don't receive any reply. Okay, that's right here. Okay, so in this case, we already know that we have shut down the target's computer, and that has this in for each ping. The system we are using, attack box in this case, is responsible with our destination host unreachable. We can see that we have transmitted 5 packets, but none was received, resulting in 100% packet loss. Generally speaking, when we don't get a ping reply back, there are few explanations that would explain why we didn't get a ping reply. For example, the destination computer is not responsive, possibly still booting up. And so this item, if you send a ping to a target and you're not getting feedback, it could be any of those reasons. It could be that it is unplugged from the network, or a firewall is configured to block your the firewall's rules. And this is why it's important that you, as a defender, or you have a PC as a cybersecurity person, you should be able to learn how to make use of your firewalls, your window defenders, the outbound and the outbound and the inbound, and what you want to allow, and you should learn how to turn your firewalls on all the time and stay safe. All right, so let's head straight. Moving on. Which option would you use to set the size of the database carried out by the HC? Which option would you use to do that? Okay, which option would you use? Let's hit some, get some. Okay, man, ping. Let's cut. Ooh, okay. Let's which option is that? Which option would you use to set the size of data carried by the ICMP echo request? Well, let's find out here. Man ping. Let's see what we have here. Oh, where's coming? Okay. Another page ping 8H for more option. Oh, we got it there. All right, so in there, that simply means it is a what user writer is a -s. There's it. So let's moving on to the next. And what is the size of the ICMP header in the? What is the size of their ICMP header in this? What we have to do, the size of it, the size of it. If you want to check this one, that means we have to hit it and understand it better and understand the size. What is the size now? What is the size? We have several ways you can use to get the size and understand the size. What is the size of this now? Let's hit this and get something. Use the man ping command to consult the ping page, manual page. Okay, the size. What is the size? And what is the size? Okay, man ping. Let's try that. Okay. Oh, sorry. Man ping. Hit enter. What is the size? Oh, we have the size ping, that is 8. And okay, so we have it here. That is 8. Let's set it up. Okay, does MS window firewalls block ping by default? Does it block her or by default? Yes, it did. You can see the other time we run the command and you saw it. It did, yes. So, and you can hit enter. All right, so in let's moving on. Let's head straight to the next one. And what do we have in the next question? Okay, deploy the VM for the stacks and using the attack bot stamina issues the command ping. Okay, blah blah blah. And how many ping replies did you get back? So let's head straight. This is just copy this, and when you copy this, and then copy and come to your attack box and paste right here. Okay, copy and paste. Oh, what's going on? Sorry, I guess it's not copy. Okay. Mm. I'll waste my time when I can just go ahead and hit ping. I can type it. Dash C 10 10 dot 10 dot what do we have here? 114.18 dot 7 9, and you can hit enter. Let's have it. So the question: how many pings or replies did you get back? How many ping replies did you get back? How many ping replied? Oh yeah, we have it. 10. That's like that's 10 packets, and you can see that. You can see the ping we got back. How many ping do we have back? You can see right there, and it is 10. It is 10. You hit enter, and that's all for the tax 3. And let's go to the tax 4. Okay, Traceroute. In here, okay, in here looks like what do we have here? Let's check it out so we can okay, we have to terminate the machine so that it will not obstruct our next tax. Let's terminate this machine so that it will not obstruct the next tax. Good. Okay, so we can head on to tax 4. You should always terminate your machine when you're practicing on TryHackMe so that you will not have a problem in starting the restroom out. So right here, what do you have? Okay, here we have our here we have as the name suggests, the traceroute command trace the route taken by the packets and from your system to another host. The purpose of the traceroute is to find the IP addresses of a router or hope that a packet traverses as it goes from your system to the target host. This command also reverses the number of router between the two systems. It is helpful as it indicate the number of hops router between your system and the target host. However, note that the route taken by the packet might change as many router use dynamics router protocol that adapt to network changes on Linux and macOS. And the commands to use is traceroute, machine IP address, and more, and this and that. And you can see that. So let's move the next and check. Oh, sorry, excuse me. There's no direct way to discover the path from your system to our target system. We rely on our ICMP to trick the routers into revealing their IP addresses. We can accomplish this by using their smart time to live and TTL in the IP header field through the T and TTL stand for time. stand for time. TTR indicates the maximum number of router hope that packet might pass through before being dropped. TTR is not a maximum number of the units. When a router receives a packet, it discriminates the TTR by 1 before passing it to the next router. The following figure shows that Each time the IP packet passes through the router, its TTL value is discriminated by 1. Initially, it leaves the system with a TTL value of 64. It reaches the target system with TTL value of 60 after passing through 4 router. So you can see right here, and this is the example of what we're talking about. You take your time and study it more and understand that. However, if the TTL reaches 0, it will be dropped, and more and more it will be dropped. And let's head on straight. Okay. On Linux Traceroute, we will start by sending the URL the damage with an IP packet of TTL begin. 1. Thus, it causes the force router to encounter a TTL and equal 0 and send an ICTP to more and more and all of that. And you can see that, and take your time and read that and look at it. Look at the example we're talking about, and this is the example. And in the Traceroute output above, we have 14 numbers line. Each lines represent one router. Each line represents one router, and hope our system send 3 packs with TTL sent to this example right here. You can see that that's what it's trying to talk about, and you can read that more and more and get it right. So you can see that we have finally, in the first line of the output, we can see that the packets leaving the attack bus takes the different router route. We can see 2 router that responded to TTL begins 1. Our system never received the third expected ICMP message. Traceroute B, you can see right here this example of the traceroute that we will try to talk about. Look at the traceroute, and here we have 1, 2, 3, 6. Okay, in the second runs of here we have it, and in the second runs of the Traceroute program, we notice that the packets choose are a long route this time, passing through 26 router. If you are running Traceroute to our system within your network, the route will be unlikely to change. However, we can expect the route to remain fixed when the packets needs to go via another road outside our network. To summarize, we can notice the following: the number of the hop, and look at it, and this is right here. We have it. Look at the number here, and this is it. This is the router, and this is what explanation is it's talking about. So moving on, let's go to the next question. Okay, in Traceroute A, what is the IP address of the last router up before reaching the TryHackMe.com? What is the router? Let's go to the Traceroute A that is shown above here. The A, this is it. So in the last one that we have right here, this is the last one we have here in the 14. Look at it, number 14. This is the right one we have here. You copy, just copy and head straight to the question and paste it here, and hit enter. Check it out. Oh, voila. Sweet, that's correct. So in the Traceroute B, what is the IP address? What is the IP address of the last router hope before reaching TryHackMe.com? That is the one we have from 1 to 26, which is here, and this is the last one. It's talking about the last one here, and they just like the first one, copy and head straight. Control V, paste it, hit enter. Sweet. And in Traceroute B, how many router are between the two systems? And when you look at that, how many router is between the two systems here? How many in Trace B? How many router between the two systems? How many router between the two systems? That is 26. That is from, look at it from number 1. It's from number 1 to 26. So let's type it there. Oh, is that correct? Oh, I just hope it's correct. Let's type it 26 and see. Oh, yeah, that's correct. Perfect. Start the attack VM from task tree if it is not already started on the attack bus. Run the traceroute and check how many router hop are there between the attack burst and the target. Okay, I hope we have started. I need to cross check this. Is it on? Okay, so let's head straight to the next term, the next task. Oh, let's go ahead straight to our Telnet. All right, so here we have the Telnet. Okay, it's Telnet's type network protocol was developed in 1969 to communicate with a remote system via a command line interface, SCLI. Here's the command. Telnet uses the Telnet and protocol for remote administration. The default port used by the Telnet is 23. From a security perspective, Telnet send all the data, including username and password. The clear text sending in clear text makes it easy for anyone who has access to the communication channel to steal the login credential to the secure alternative is SSH, secure share protocol. Yeah. However, the Telnet client with the client client with its simplicity can be used for other purpose using knowing that the Telnet client lies on the TCP protocol. You can use Telnet to connect to any service and grab its banner using Telnet machine IP port. You can connect to any service running on TCP, and even exchange a few message unless it uses encryption. How you can use our tenants to gather information about a target. This is what it's all about in a simple word, in a simple understanding and clarification, how to use a tenant to gather more information about a target. Or yeah, so and that is what this place is talking about. And look at it right here. Some of the example here. We've got some of the example right here. Okay. So, where are we? Okay. Let's check our. I hope this. Oh, this is torn off already. Let's straight to la. Task 4. We are done with task 4. And okay, task 5. We're talking about the tenant, and it is used to gather information about the network, about the target, and more and more and more. It's deeper than that. It's actually deeper than that, and you can see that right here. Okay, of a particular interest for us is discovering the type and the version of the installed web server, and more of that. In this example, we can communicate with a web server. Yeah, you can use the tenant can help you to communicate with the web server, and is very important and compulsory and very good in cybersecurity, because you can use that to do a lot more. Not just that, you can actually use Telnet to do much more than that. It's very good and very important that you understand it more and more. You can read it, and have more understanding about that. And using the Telnet is very good and important. So, and let's say you can always use this to get information about a target, and more. It's very easy. So let's say straight and see what our next task is right here. Let's move down and say okay. So start their attached VBM from task 3. Oh, start the attached VBM from task 3 if it is not already started. On the attack bus, open the terminal and use the Telnet client to connect to the VPN port 80. What is the name of the running server? Wow. So we have to get back to task 3. Task 3. No, task 3. We have to start it on. And it will be on in counting down in 50 in some seconds. It will be on. So now we can head straight to it. And okay, so all right, so while waiting for that, Telnet is used to gather information about a network target. So like I said earlier, now it's very important. You can go deeper and understand more. That it's really important, and it's never compulsory that you understand it deeper and more and more. And here you can see right here, just like I said, however, the Telnet client with the simplicity can be used to other purposes, knowing that the Telnet client relies on the TCP protocol. All right, so let's say we want to discover more information about a web server. Listening on port 80, we connect to the server at port 80, and then we communicate using the HTTP protocol. You need to dive into the HTTP protocol. You just need to issue GET request and more. So cool. So let's try it and see what we are looking for. So let's try this first. Let's try it. Let's copy this right here. Let's copy this right here. Copy. Control C in the let me just clear this so that we can have a fresh start. Okay. And you can paste it right here. Let's see what we've got in there. But it's talking about, what is the question again? What is the question? What is the question? Okay, and start delivering. Okay, in task tree, if it is not already started on the tag bars, open the terminal and use the Telnet client to connect to our VPN on port 80. What is the name? Oh, we have to connect to port 80. So in this case, what do? We can just hit enter and port 80. Ooh, what is that? Okay, trying to port 80. What is going on? Let's take out the 80 first and get more information about this. Connecting, trying to connect to port 80, and in this form, what is the issue here? So let's get it right. Telnet in port. Yeah, using Telnet. Okay. Then the IP address. What do you have here? 1060, 256, and more. Plus. Okay. Trying to look at it. Telnet unable to connect to remote host. Connection refused. Why? Remote host. Port 80. Good, it's working. So it's connecting. Wow, voila. So it's working. It's just sometime network and something connections fails. And here and now, right? So it's now connecting. You can see just tap there, and if it is not already started on the tag box, open the terminal, and that's exactly what we are doing right now. And that is not the end. That is not the end. And what is the next step after that? Then we are supposed to use a get command, and copy it, come right here and paste it right here. Get command, and after that you go ahead and click host. Oh, we've got it. Oh, look at it right here. This is the answer. And okay, so the first thing we did, we typed our Telnet just to get in to understand more, to get more information about the target. We typed Telnet and the target and connect to the port 80. And you look at it right here, we type Telnet and the port 80, we connect to the port. So it's not with the IP address, they are not the same. It's different. So you have to space it and type 80, the port that you want to connect to. You can also connect to any port that you want to connect to. You can type it here after you type Telnet in the attack bars and this, and look at it right here, and we've got it. and this is the name of the server, Apache. You can see Apache 2.4.61. So let's head straight to the question, and I believe we have our answer here. So what is the name of the server running? What is the name of the server? Server Apache. So you can copy that. You can copy that and come right here. Oh, poof. You can, oh, no need. Apache. Apache. Correct. What is the version of the running server on port 80? What is the version of the running server? The version of the running server. What is the version? What version? Look at it. It's like 2.461. Okay, 2.461. Hit enter. Voila. Sweet. Netcart taxis. Let's head straight to taxis, and let's see what we've got in taxis. Okay, so taxis talks about Netcart. Netcart, or simply NS, can has different application. So I think we should get back, and it has a different application. Okay, let's get back and terminate. I believe we need to terminate this attack box, and we can terminate this off just in case we'll not be needing it any longer. Let's terminate this. Yeah, let's terminate this machine. And moving on to the next task, since we have another machine right here, so it is important that you always terminate the ones you already done with, so it will not obstruct or distract the next one that you have to use. Netcart, or simply NC, has different application that can be of great value to our pen testing. Netcart supports both a TCP and UDP protocol. It can function as a client that connects to a listening port. Alternatively, it can act as a server that listens to a port of your choice. Hence, it is convenient tools that you can use as a simple client or server over TCP or UDP. First, you can connect to a server as you did with Telnet to collect its banner using the disk, just like to collect more information. The net card is also used to get more information, just like we used the other one, the first one that we used, just like we used the Telnet. It's also kind of similar, so get the same information, and we can go ahead and start this machine. While moving on to the next one we have got right here. And first, you can connect to a server as you did with the Telnet to collect its banner using the blah blah blah, and which is required similar to our previous Telnet. Yeah, note that you might need to press the shift plus enter, get a line, and you got an example right here. IP address, okay, NS, the IP address, and then the port, and you get it, Netcart. Wow, that's similar. It's just it's the same thing, because in the other one, what is different is that here is NC, and the other one was a Telnet, and here is NC. So it's an IP address and the port, the similar right here. If you look at it very well, you notice that we have got the same thing right here in the other one. And let me just show you. Okay, look at it here. And look at it, we have Telnet here. In the Telnet, we have Telnet, and here we have the NC. And in the Telnet, we have the IP address, and here we have the IP address, and and we have our port 80 connected. We have port 80 connected. So what is the difference between this command and this NC command? It's the same. The difference is just the first word. Okay, here is Telnet and here is NC, and the rest are the same. Host Netcart, and here was host. Here was what? Host here was Telnet. Yeah, it was Telnet. It was Telnet. Okay, so let's head straight and understand more. All right, in this terminal, in the terminal shows above, we used our netcards to connect to blah 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 using port 80. Next, we usually get to the default page using get blah blah blah. We are specifying to the target server that our client supports HTTP version. Finally, we need to give a name to our host, so we decided on a new line host Netcart. Okay, so let's head straight and see what we've got right there. Based on the output server this we receive, we can tell that our port 80 we have in fixed version listening to an incoming. Yeah, so you see all of that option. Okay, the option right here, listening mode and specify the port number. There's it, and these are the options that are very important that you can always use to get more information about your target. And here you can see that, and on the client side, options are explained right here. Look at the options, read it carefully. The option P should appear just before the port number you want to listen on. The option a dash N will avoid DNS lookup and warning port number less than blah 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 blah. So look at it on the client side, you would use this and the port number just like I explained in the previous explanation. So okay, so let's head straight and move to the next. What do we have right here? Where are we? Okay, start the VM and open the attack burst. Once the attack burst loads, use the net cards to connect to the to port 21. It's the same thing. What is the version of the running server? What is the version of the running server? We are connecting to our port 81. What is the version of the running server? Let's get back to you. Blue, blue, blue. Is this open? This is open. Oh my god. Oh. Why am I so lazy? Okay. Start the VM. Alright, so let's go ahead. I think we need to clear this. We should clear this. What do you think? Should we clear this? Clear this and yeah. What is the version of the running server? How do we know that? So we have to. Oh, what is the running version on the? What is the version of the running server on port 21? Port 21. Wow. So that means we can copy this. This is our IP. That's our target. Copy, and let's come right here and see what we can do and paste it right here. Paste it here, and port what? We have to connect to port 21 and understand the name of the. We have to connect to port 21 and get the name of the version of the running. Okay, get the name of the version running. Okay, so port 21. Port 21. Let's hit enter. Okay, and what is the next thing to do here? What is the next thing to do here? Okay. Yeah. Let's try this. Oh, he's ready. Command not orders 2. Whoa. Host and let's say host and net cards. Command not found. What's going on? Oh, do we have it already? Oh, we already have it. Oh my god, look at me. Oh, so just type in the N and C in the IP address and the connecting to port 21 and look at the output. And here we have the the version we are looking for, 0.17. This is it. 0.17 is ready. Okay, is ready, and we are. So I was just trying to go further and more and more and more and more and connect to it more and more and to get more information. That's what I was trying to do, but I didn't know that we've already gotten what we're looking for. So let's head straight and type let's try it and see 0.17 and hit enter. Voila. Oh, we got it. Sweet. Now tax server, putting it all together. Putting it all together in this room we have our okay, say in this room we have covered many various tools. It is easy to put a few of them together via a shell script to build a primitive network and system scanner. And you can use Traceroute to map the paths to the target ping to check if the target system responds to ICP, ICMP, Echo, and Telnet to check which ports are open and reachable by attempting to connect to them. Available scanner do this at much more advanced and simulated level, as we will see in the next four rooms with Nmap. All right, so I used Nmap to just scan. And okay, this example, there's the command example ping. We all know what this. We did this. We use this and we use this one, and this one will be used. We also use some of this one. We use almost all this command now, and you saw that. Okay, although these are fundamental tools, they are readily available on the MOSIM system. In particular, a web browser is installed on a particular every computer and smartphone, and can be an essential tool in your arsenal for conducting reconnaissance without raising alarm. If you want to gain more profound knowledge of the developer tools, we recommend joining the working and application. Go deeper. If you want to go deeper on that, I advise you should do that. And it's very good. Operating system, developing in Linux. Let's have a look at it. Mac or Mac OS, and yeah, and that is all for this text. And here you don't need to, you don't have any question to answer, and you can go ahead and click check. Sweet, and that is the end of our task. Great, and thank you so much for your time, and I appreciate you a lot. And in case you are not following my YouTube channel, please like and drop in the comment section what you feel about the video and what you want to talk about, what you want me to do, and what you feel you want me to do, and what your question is. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Have a great time and stay safe.